Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another one of the final price review videos. This is for the December 2018 Rock Island auction, and we'll just kick it right in with this German Sniper. I think someone got a really good deal on this. These are really rare, they're really cool, and if you compare World War I sniper rifle prices to World War II sniper rifle prices, the World War I ones really kind of look like just a steal. So I think someone did really well on that. This, on the other hand, I think someone overpaid for. I'm not sure what justified quite this much money. This is about double what the estimate was for the gun. It was certainly a nice example of a Manchurian Mauser, but it didn't have the dust cover, and these are out there. So, you know, sometimes at auctions, things go unusually high, higher than they should. A couple more. We're getting into some odd bolt actions here. The trials rifle here in attempt, something that was considered as a replacement for the Lee Enfield by the British during World War II. Very cool gun. 5750 seems, I suppose, normal. It's not like you're going to find a lot of those out there. So to the person who is a British rifle collector, you're looking to pay $5 to $6 grand for something like that, or something like this, the Ishapur Arsenal prototype jungle carbine type rifle. Again, a really neat one. They had this one estimated rather lower than 5,000 as well, but this price doesn't really come as that much of a surprise to me for kind of one-of-a-kind guns. The pressure test Mosin was an absolutely beautiful gun, very cool, and I think what drove its price up as high as it did here, 3,500 or just about, was the number of accessories that come with it. Normally with a pressure test rifle like this, all you get is the gun. You don't get any of the actual threaded in bits that would make it work. Now, we went through a bit of an evolution of Kar 98Ks. The top one here, which was actually the latest, that one I'm not bothering with the price because it's sold as part of a two-gun lot, so we can't really extrapolate about that rifle by itself. But then we have basically $2 grand for the mid-war rifle and 3,500 for the gorgeous pre-war one. That was, you know, German Kar 98Ks tend to bring a lot. They in fact tend to bring more than sporting rifles like the Wehrsmannsgewehr here, which I don't know what the reserve on it was, but it probably didn't meet that reserve because it didn't actually sell at the auction. And that's generally what that means. Continuing with some snipers, World War I British SMLE Sniper. This went higher than I would have thought. Maybe that World War I price break discount that sort of is de facto out there, maybe that's falling off as people get more interested in World War I. But to me, the German sniper at the beginning was much more interesting than that SMLE. Now, these two guns, the two weird slide action rifles, actually had a couple commenters on the video point out that these are, in fact, designs from Samuel McLean, who was the guy involved at the beginning of the Lewis gun story. So to me, that makes them much more interesting, and I suspect whoever paid $15,000 and $12,500 for them, respectively, also knew about that. So the patents are out there. You can find them linked in the video notes for this particular video. Very cool, actually. You know, Samuel McLean is kind of a lesser-known guy, and very neat to find some of his prototype guns. This one didn't surprise me at all. The U.S. Trials Vickers-Berthier 1919, it had some downsides. It's missing the magazine, which is a real bummer. And the stock is broken. Probably actually happened during the trial, I suspect. Went for $31,000. I'm actually a little surprised that didn't go higher for an actual U.S. test trials rifle. I knew this one would go high, maybe not this high, but again, very few of these out there, and for the serious Japanese firearms collector, this is the final improved version of the Type 14 Nambu. It's a really cool pistol, and there are a very small number of them out there, and that's what drives prices up. The Holland & Holland Paradox actually went lower than I was expecting by a fairly decent margin. I'm not any good at tracking prices on sporting guns, sporting rifles and shotguns, but when you tell me Holland & Holland and Paradox, I would typically expect more than $7 grand that this one brought. So, can't tell you there. That's something I need to improve on. The Roth-Haenel at just under 11,000. These are definitely underappreciated and very interesting early semi-automatic rifles, very early. In fact, arguably, potentially, the earliest commercially, reasonably, sort of successful semi-auto rifles. So that's a cool one. I think someone will enjoy that gun. This one-of-a-kind kind of hybrid AR side mag thing put together by Wilfred Ellis failed to sell, which means it didn't hit its reserve. Again, I don't know what the reserve was. but that does happen from time to time. So this one was actually recently sold not long before at a different auction. Here's another example probably of someone getting a little too excited about an auction, because this is, yes, it is an early pre-ban folding stock Mini 14, but still, $2,300? Really? That would not have been me. I think someone definitely paid too much for that. Maybe these are going up in value, but that's, I think, more than I'd be interested in. And this one I just flat out cannot explain. $11,000 for an H&R MC58, a semi-auto 22. This one, yeah, is in like brand new condition, but there are plenty of these out there. This was estimated at like $1,000 to $1,600. Maybe there was Nazi gold hidden in it or something. I don't know. The Mauser 1914 with the 4mm kit also failed to sell, which doesn't surprise me looking at its estimate. I think it was estimated at $5,000 to $8,000, which I think is substantially more than this particular gun is worth. Maybe if the pistol itself were all matching and in really good shape, it might bring that, but not the way it actually is. The Colt-marked Star 30 PK. Here's another one where clearly this had to have gone to a very dedicated Colt collector, because mechanically this is literally just a Star 30 PK made in Spain by Star and then imported and marked by Colt for some internal R&D purposes, and it went for a little over $3,000. The GunCrafters, Model 1, someone got a smoking deal on this thing. That's about half of their actual retail price, $2,300. So I suspect, these aren't huge sellers because of the ammunition cost, and that's probably what kept this one a bit low, but whoever won that gun, I think, is going to be very happy with it. Next up, we have a pair of Galils. We're seeing a lot of the pre-89 assault weapon ban type guns really start to climb in value, or at least climb in sales price, and you're looking at several $1,000s. Now, $4,600 is more than I would have expected for an Action Arms 5.56 Galil, but apparently that's what this one brought. The 308 was a bit less, $3,700, probably because these have a bit less military provenance to them. The Israeli military doesn't use 308 Galils like this. A few others do, but if you're looking for the IDF sort of pattern gun, that's the 5.56 one. The FN here, the 50.63, the Para FAL, went for, again, there's a lot of guns here that went more expensive than I would have expected, and this was another one of them. I understand that there aren't a lot of these, and this one was in very nice shape, but $7,500 still seems a bit pricey to me. So hopefully whoever bought that doesn't mind, doesn't have a case of buyer's remorse. There were two of the California Arms Defiance guns. These are actually AOWs. I mistakenly, I think, said in the video that they were SBSs. This one went for $3,700. The other one went for about half of that, but the other one had some mechanical issues. So, and it's a neat gun. It's a fairly unusual gun, and hopefully someone will enjoy that guy. The Colombian 7.62 NATO conversion of the M1 Garand went for $2,000. Not bad. You know, there were only something like 8 or 12 of these imported, and it's an interesting, different take on this sort of caliber conversion. So for someone who's collecting M1s, neat piece to have. And then last but not least, we did a video on the East German SKS. After I did the video, they actually decided to move it to the next Rock Island sale, so it'll be coming up in the spring sale. In fact, I will make a point to throw it in the spring sale final prices video, because we'll have some videos from that auction coming up before too much longer. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching, and check in for another forgotten weapon tomorrow.